Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to All Beer Inside Interviews. I'm your not-so-humble host, Carp, and today with me is Tico from Benelux Verdun.
Hey, everyone.
So thank you for hosting us today. You've brought out some wonderful beers for us to try later on, but what's the beer story? Why is Benelux Verdun here?
Well, first of all, thank you for making a trip all the way here. We appreciate that and appreciate your interest in our beers. We opened up here about 6 years ago. We were the first brewery in Verdun. Until then, Verdun was dry town.
Yeah, I'm from Verdun, and I grew up in pool hall. Oh, I want a beer. Here's a hot dog.
Yeah,
Why?
Yeah.
So
there was a little bit of residues from years bygone, and permits were not given, or they were given only to places, restaurants that you could only drink while eating.
Yes.
Then Verdun Chamber of Commerce and City Hall, they were trying to come up with the ideas to revitalize the Wellington street. And one of the ideas was to have a craft beer installation in place. We were approached by Chamber of Commerce. We presented our plan, but there were some restriction coming with it, and the basic one was that we had to brew the beer on premises and sell only beer brewed on premises. We couldn't sell any hard alcohol or wine or ciders and other stuff, which was pretty easy for us to adhere to, because our basic operation was craft beer.
Yes.
This is a second location. We have one location on Sherbrooke. It's been there for 14 years. I had the privilege of working there for 5 years. And when this project came along, they asked me to take care of the brewing part of it. And I gladly accept. And this been going on for 6 years now. And we're very proud of product we put out, and we're very proud of a neighborhood that has taken us in, and we'll see where the things will go.
Yeah, as a Verdunner myself, when I heard you guys were coming, I was like, finally, good beer in Verdun. I don't have to drink Molson Coors Bud anymore. I could just try new stuff.
Yeah.
And I've been a craft beer fan for at least 15, almost 20 years now. I like stuff with flavor.
Yep.
And you guys always have flavors, which is fantastic. And it's a little bit of pride too, because you finally, you're the first one, and you showed Verdun that, hey, you could have a bar and it's not people just coming in, getting drunk and getting in fights. No,
Yep.
I'm sure some problems arise here and there, but generally I've not heard any negative connotations about Benelux, or even across the street, the other two bars that just came up because you guys succeeded. So Verdun's like, we need more.
In a way, we paved the way. There was lots of apprehensions. What that will bring to the city. What kind of attitudes we will see. But it was a smooth sail. People loved it. We have a great beer garden in the back. It's family oriented. People come in summertime. You can see families coming in with their strollers, with the kids playing around, and they enjoy a glass of cold, fresh brew that puts them together in a setting that it's apart from what traditional bar.
Yeah, exactly.
Atmosphere would be. Yeah.
So you'd mentioned Verdun was a dry county, I think, for something like 60 to 90 years. And like you said, but what were some other roadblocks that maybe you came into while trying to bring Benelux here?
As I mentioned, we are in the middle of the residential area.
Yes.
So there were some, as I said, apprehensions that neighbors had about the noise level, about what will be the brawlers and stuff like that. But we reassured them by installing a sound barrier in the back, which it's a green wall as well, so it has a double purpose. We limit the hours of a terrace. We limit, there was some work to be done. And we just brought our true face, and you were like, listen, we're here to bring the community together. We're here to add to what you have and not take away from what the character and the soul of the Verdun is. And I think after 6 years, we have succeeded. One of the other things we do is most of our beers have the names of the streets, which the name of the streets have, historical connections to Verdun. We have our Pilsner, German Pilsner, very popular one of the first one came out and was very popular, Gertrude.
Mm-hmm.
It's the name of first mayor of Verdun had 3 daughters, Gertrude, Edna, and Regina. And we have 3 beers. Gertrude is our German Pilsner, Edna is our Munich Dunkel, and Regina is our Hefeweizen. So we try to connect to the neighborhood, and we did a whole bunch of and still do a bunch of collaboration with institution in Verdun. One of the last one we did was there's a food bank not far from here, and they regularly were ending up with lots of dry bread that they didn't know what to do with it, and so we recycled that. We made the beer. The beer,
I tried that during the summer on the terrace,
and some of the proceeding went to them. So we do stuff to be part of the community.
That's awesome to hear. And you'd mentioned you've done collabs. The names, obviously, for those who have been here, most of them are based on street names. What was the first beer brewed here that was available to the public? The first one.
The first one was the first beer that we did was called Tempérance.
Okay.
Which, after the La Loi Tempérance, and it was a 4.5% bitter. It was ordinary bitter.
Okay.
So on the Sherbrooke, just a little bit of a background. On the Sherbrooke location, we do historically we started with Belgian beers and American, mostly West Coast style beers. And then Belgian with the West Coast style influence and West Coast with the Belgian influence. And when this project here opened, the thinking was maybe we should go and draw from other brewing cultures that are equally interesting. So here we start doing German Pilsners, lagers, and English ales.
Okay.
So we do saisons as well. We do, West Coast IPAs as well. We do some Belgians as well, but the heavy accent is on English ales and German lagers.
And the first bitter, that was an English bitter, or just?
It was English bitter. It was an ordinary bitter.
Yeah, just
it was
an English.
4.8% Tempérance. It was just the introduction.
Okay.
Easy drinking, flavorful, but not heavy on alcohol. So that was a good opening.
So you brought us a bunch of beers. Are you willing to have one with us? Or?
Absolutely.
What do you want to start with? Because I know this can, as of recording, it's coming out today, from what I understand.
Yes.
So shall we try your newest beer?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is the first can that we do here. Mm-hmm. It's a Northeast IPA. Because Northeast IPAs are popular and because they're delicious.
Yeah, New England IPAs are very good.
So this was done here, canned here, labeled here. It took a whole week to get it together, but we are proud of the results. Northeast IPA with mosaic and citra hops. It has a tropical, it has a tropical. What you expect from these beers.
So as we say on the show, toast!
Just easy drinking.
Wow, this is not smooth. Tastes like a 6% beer.
Yeah, it's a smooth, doesn't have harshness. Mm-hmm. It's around it has a smoothy, silky introduction.
Yeah, what I like
bitterness is it's theoretically was about 15 IBUs, but with some dry hopping. And like late kettle edition probably went up to 20.
Okay, it's nice because there's no hop burn either, which I find there's so many New England IPAs available now. You got to be careful because some of you're going to get that hop burn in the back of your throat, which I'm always trepidatious about. But this, I don't get any of that. I get the bitterness in the back of the tongue after a few sips, but
it just gets on the sides and but it doesn't follow down on the throat. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
You got it.
Oh, fantastic beer.
Thank you.
So where do the labels come from? Who came up with the labels?
We have a designer, one of the original owners that left Benelux about 2 months ago. He's Benoit Mercier. He started the first one on Sherbrooke, and he was instrumental in the whole, Benelux being Benelux. I know Ben from my years that we had a homebrew club a long time ago. I started homebrewing about 16 years ago, and very, very soon I got hooked, and I found a couple of like-minded people, and we started a homebrew club called Montrealers.
Okay, I've seen that.
Yeah, which still exists, and we were about 20, 25 people. We started with 5, and then we end up being 25. And about 8 years ago, 9 years ago, we gave it more structure. And we made it to a real club, and now we have around 600 members, and the mailing list and competitions that we do. I'm not the part anymore because it wasn't fair for me to be in a homebrew club as a professional. But I was a president for 2 years, and Drew actually from Kanawaka Brewing was my successor. I handed to him. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, he was new blood came in. So I know Ben from those days. He was in our homebrew club, and we used to do big brews and get together every second Thursday of the month and drink beer, homebrews, and talk about them. Point finger and laugh. And so he and a couple other partners, he opened the first location, and he made Benelux what it is today.
Awesome.
And he moved on to other projects. He's getting busy with other stuff, and we wish him all the luck and all the he knows what he's doing, and he will.
So you mentioned you homebrew. What was one of the first beers you ever homebrewed? Good, bad, mediocre, whatever it was.
Yeah, homebrewing started in my university years, and I was broke, and I came across this kits. It was just like syrup in a can and with the dry yeast, and I started brewing that way. So I was doing those kits, and it wasn't expensive. It was like $15, $16, and you end up with the 3 cases of 24. Not calculating the time and hour putting into washing the bowls and filling them up and everything. But I was so happy. The beer was delicious. Well, to then me, it was delicious, and basically had the alcohol, and everybody loved it. But slowly it was like, there's ways to tweak this, maybe I can use, liquid yeast and start doing liquid yeast. Oh, so profile changes. Adding some hops. That changes some too. And after a year or two, I jumped into all grain. And from there, it was just like, oh my God, this is so amazing. You can just take some raw material, put them together, and you end up with the flavorful, delicious product. So that was that, and it escalated very, very fast. From 20-liter batches, I moved up to 40-liter batches, and moved up to 100-liter batches, and I had too much beer on hand, because I just love the brewing. And then the opportunity to work in a brewery came, and Ben offered me a job, and I took it. And from it's been a great ride since.
Okay. And the Benelux name comes from that Ben gentleman you were mentioning?
Yes, it was. The first location is on Sherbrooke and Jean Mance, and there's a little park right next to it, and it's called Benelux.
Okay. Now, so you expanded from downtown to Verdun. Are there plans for Benelux to expand a little more, or
Well, after a third year here, the opportunity came up to buy a production facility not far from here, and that was concluded, and it took another 6-7 months to put it in line with our lineup of beers. That brewery is going strong.
Okay.
We have occasional cans on shelves. We just released three of them last week and a half. There should be on shelves. There's a Helles called Duplex. There's a West Coast IPA called Buzz, and there is Masquerade, which is our Northeast IPA. So they're on shelves for holidays, trying to put some sparkle in people's holiday season.
You mentioned earlier you collabed with a local food bank. Are there other breweries in Quebec you'd like to collab with? And on top of that, if you could get outside Quebec, would you brew with somebody in Ontario, the Maritimes, and then in the world if you could? What are some people you'd love to brew with?
We have done lots of collaboration. We have done collaboration with Great Lakes.
Okay.
With Mike Lackey, a very awesome guy, very enthusiast. We did Bohemian Pilsner here together. It was called Antidope.
Okay, yeah.
And we had another collaboration with a very good friend of mine, Luke Bim from Godspeed.
Okay.
We did a session IPA together here. Awesome guy to work with. It's genuinely, one of the most favorite people I know. We had with Mike McGarrah from Vermont. At that time, he was at the Bobcat Cafe. Did the collaboration with him. I have good friends and connections in Vermont, and we are planning another collaboration coming up soon. But if the opportunity shows and people are interested, it's always pleasure to work with somebody else, learn from their experience, and just showcase what can come from putting the minds together. We had the collaboration with in Quebec. I had a collaboration with Simon Livingston from Espace Public.
Okay, yeah.
We did one there. I had a collaboration with Nathan McNaught from Reservoir. It's one of the guys that I met early, one of the 5 Montrealers that I mentioned. At that time, he was working at, gonna make me sound really, really old, but with he used to work at Gordon's Cave à Vin, was on Sherbrooke, and NDG. It was like one of the first homebrew shops. Okay. And he's he's a great brewer as well.
Yeah, I mean,
we did a whole bunch of them.
Yeah.
Who I would like to do collaboration with? Whoever is willing to make the track and come here and teach me some stuff, because that's always amazing.
So I'm assuming you've traveled on beer vacations before.
Yes.
What's one you've never done that you'd like to go to?
I've been to Portland. I've been to Colorado. I've been to San Francisco. I've been to San Diego Beer Festival. Oh my God. I went to Oktoberfest in Germany.
That's hopefully that's all Beer Inside's plan this year. Is
okay.
Awesome. We make our way to Munich.
Oh, so, awesome! Yeah. Let me know. My brother lives in Dusseldorf,
awesome.
A little bit up, but my aunt lives in Vienna. So what I do, I go there, pretend that I'm going to visit them, and then just ride the train to Munich.
That's fantastic.
Yeah, awesome. It's a awesome experience. Yeah, I've been to Christe Beer Festival, which is in Belgium. Is all it's 2 days of heavy Christmas beers, and they have like 10 hot creeks and casks and stuff like that. That one was fantastic too. Went to Maine, Ebenezer's Belgian Beer Festival. It's a week of beer festival. We usually go there and camp on his land. Chris Lively, very nice host. I don't know. I mean, there's so many good festivals out there, and
Mhm.
there's so many good beers to be drank that it's really hard to point finger and say which one.
Yeah, for sure. I've spoken to my friends. Apparently, South Africa. There's a documentary on Amazon Prime right now about the
Mhm.
South African beer scene. So I'm like, we got to go there. It sounds amazing. So
Awesome.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up. It
yeah.
sounds.
I can't remember what it's called. We'll put it in the show notes for those who want to see it. Okay. So at this point, we're gonna end it.
Okay.
It's been a pleasure for us to interview you today. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Let people know where they can find you on here and on the internet and all of it.
So thank you very much again for coming. This was really fun. So you can we have a Facebook page, we have an Instagram page, Benelux Brasserie Artisanale Café. We have a whole bunch of activity coming up. We collaborate with the city of Verdun. We have Cabane à Sucre coming up in March. We do. Oh my God, there's so just keep an eye on our social media feed, and we'll just throw you candies, and you hopefully we'll see you among us and with us, and if you come and see me, find me on the floor, just knock on my shoulder, and we'll have a pint together.
Awesome. So we'll have the address for the location in the show notes as well. As for us, you can reach us everywhere. All Beer Inside. Allbeerinside.com is the webpage. And as we usually say, drink craft, not crap.
Awesome.